Tom Casey here. Want to lay out for you the options to protect your investment and clean your air and take the bad air that could be circulating around inside of your home or business and make it into good air that's healthier to live and work and sleep and play and breathe in. So the very first thing you want to do to protect your investment is you want to get rid of all the particulates, dust, dirt, pollens, things that you can kind of see in that sunbeam kind of floating there in the air. Those are going to get circulated back to your system. If your filter isn't efficient enough, they're going to get past your filter, and they're going to deposit themselves all over the inside surfaces of your HVAC equipment and your ductwork, and that's going to lead to some problems. So we want to filter the air, and the number one way to do that is through what's called a Polarized Media Air Cleaner, or PMAC. The second thing we want to do is we want to eliminate the things that are alive in the air, things like bacteria, viruses, fungi. And so we do that by what's called ultraviolet light. When you think about ultraviolet light, what I want you to do is think about the sun. That's the natural Mother Nature's air purifier, is ultraviolet light from the sun. The same technology can be applied into the inside of your duct system to literally eradicate anything inside of the airstream in your duct and kill it and let it be captured by your PMAC, Polarized Media Air Cleaner, and eliminate it from depositing itself on the inside of your system. Now, imagine if these things, these bacteria, viruses, fungi, get past your filter and they end up depositing themselves inside of your air conditioning coils and your heat exchangers and your blowers. Well, then over time, they're going to start to breed and grow, and that's what leads to microbials and mold and all sorts of allergy problems and disgusting kind of side effects inside of our HVAC systems. Here's the important thing about UV lights. They're not all created equal. The UV light that you want to make sure you have as your first line of defense against the bacteria, viruses, and fungi has got to be a high enough output that it can kill these things in an airstream. There's a difference between bacteria and stuff that's floating by in a duct and stuff that's sitting on a surface. So you need to have a microwatt rating that's very high. The recommendation we have is at least 175 microwatts to kill those bacteria, viruses, and fungi within the airstream as it's rushing by at several hundred feet per minute. If you use the wrong output, you think you're purifying the air, but you don't. And the reason I mention this is because a lot of contractors don't understand the difference. All UV light is not created equal. So for you, the second line of defense to protect your system and to protect your health and enjoyment of your home is a high output UV light. Now this can be located on the return side of your system before the PMAC filter so that anything it kills gets caught by the PMAC. But if you don't have the proper return duct, it'll do almost as an efficient job in the supply plenum after it leaves your unit to kill what's ever in the airstream. Now a lot of folks ask about, what about inside of my air handling unit? Unfortunately, that high output UV is so powerful that put inside of a normal air conditioning unit, it will actually destroy the inside of the unit. It will break down the insulation, it will eat up the wires, it will cause the surfaces to crack, and again, think about being in the sun. You leave something out in the sun, not good things happen to it. So we have a lower rated UV light that's rated at 50 microwatts output, and it's what we call a surface purifier. In other words, it's not going to purify your airstream. So if the air is rushing by that light like it does through an HVAC system, any of the contaminants in the airstream are going to stream right on by and not get affected. But anything that gets caught on a surface of a cooling coil or a heat exchanger or a blower and the light is shining on it, that surface will be purified. So the third step in a really, really clean, healthy system is to put a coil guard or a low output UV light inside of the unit between the blower and the evaporator coil to kill what's ever on the surfaces. There still needs to be some protection and some precautions taken to make sure the UV light doesn't negatively affect the interior components. But if you're worried about microbials inside of your system, that's the third step. Now there is another technology called Ozone that will deal with smells and odors, and that's really only applicable for those of us who have those issues in our home. Again, whether it's construction things like off-gassing of carpet and furniture and paint, dog, cat type odors, cooking odors, things along those lines. That's when ozone will come in for smells. In our experience, it's very much the minority of cases. So in the majority of cases, 80% of the time, the proper PMAC, polarized media air cleaner, combined with the high output UV that can destroy things in the airstream is all that you need to protect your system and your home and your sanity. If you want that extra step, well, then you could go with the surface guard. And if you do have odors, you can go with the ozone, but it only does good if you have that issue. If not, you're just wasting your money. Boom.